But they could not date something as 740 years before the birth of Christ at that time.
Na wadame brene mo no de na mama nyanya adwene mu tiase de be emfe aheson eduanan wo bre ansa na wo ba Jesus Christ.
They dated something by the time that a king was reigning.
Wo ye de ma de no wo bre a na ahemfo na wodi tum.
And Isaiah said, in the year that King Uzziah died.
Na Isaiah kada embra ohen Israel win.
I saw the Lord. Uzziah had been a great kings in Solomon. His fame spread far and wide. He reigned for 50 years. But at the end there was a tragic event. He had entered the temple and sought to burn incense, something which no layperson could do. And he was struck with leprosy. And he spent his last days living apart as a leper. So when Isaiah entered the temple at that time, there was a sense in which he saw not the king but the King of Kings. Not the king on his throne, but God on his throne. And in that moment of seeing God in his holiness, Isaiah saw how unholy he was. It was as though for the first time he saw himself as he really was. I am a man of unclean lips. The very lips with which he was about to praise God were lips which had lied or spoken unkindly or spoken wrongly to others. And the people he saw also were like him. Now the people were very religious. They were constantly in the temple. But as Isaiah points out, the hands they stretched out to pray to God were hands that were stretched out also to bribe or cheat or steal. And so the first experience that he had of meeting God was that God showed him himself as he really was. He exposed the real Isaiah. And that is something that happens if we meet God in his house. In our life day by day, we look at other people and then look at ourselves. And we say, I'm as good as she is, or I'm better than he is. We come out very well in the comparison. And Jesus saw this in religious people.
Jesus Christ who da menzamano da musubiano wo a Christian fu hunumu.
He told the story about the publican and the Pharisee going into the temple to pray.
Ete odidi yamfanto ka asame kira hwan wo bra Pharisee benu ko asolfi me de wo ko bompe.
Now remember, the Pharisees were much more religious than you and I are.
Mama yansha na so de da mebrem no Pharisee fu no ena wo yanyame somafo sin ende emi no.
How many of you fast twice a week?
Yene mo ahen ena na wotwe no yetumi edzim wada.
Do all of you give a tenth of your income to God?
Ana yene adwuma ye na Bible say yemu ebupenu du no say yene fast no yenya yedzi no kwa de yebu hina ebupenu na na.
So the Pharisee, when he prayed to God, had great confidence in himself. And then providentially he saw this wretched publican at prayer. And he felt even more religious. I thank you, Lord, that I am not as other men. I fast twice a week. I give a tenth of all I possess. And then compares himself with the publican over there. He did not meet God. He was so full of himself, he was not open to God. By contrast, though his eyes were cast down, the publican saw God. God, have mercy on me, sinner that I am. In the presence of God, who has made himself known to us in Jesus Christ, we begin to see ourselves as we are. He emptied himself, and we try to fill ourselves with riches or whatever.
Jesus Christ important ho panano enyana de ye bomodene hye ne ho ma woda yewom ada ye nisika anada ye na ho zama ye wo ho.
We want to be important.
Ye pere ye abrempon ye azefo.
He stooped down and washed the feet of his disciples.
Wa nanso wo ma ye hweda ye na Jesus Christ no obre ne ho azempo wo ho na suafo ho nana ho.
And so I could go on.
Enti motum na makodo.
So the first thing in meeting God, he exposes us. He shows us what we really like. And then second, in verse 7, the word lo, lo, this has touched your lips. Though this has touched your lips, your iniquity is taken away and your sin forgiven. To Isaiah, God was distant from him, high and lifted up. He felt an impossible distance between him and God. God was holy and he was unholy. But then incredibly in his vision of God, this happened. He saw, as it were, with his eyes, one of the seraphs taking a live coal from the altar.
adubaeɛ akɔbɔ igyem wɔ afɔrebukyia